Well, here's the latest. Canada is banning single-use plastics by 2021, and I'm going to give you the rundown of what's included and what it doesn't include. And I'm torn on some of these ideas, and I'll tell you why. What's shaking, folks? My name is P. This is Foodpackaging TV, where we bring you the latest intel in the wonderful world of food packaging. And so it's finally been announced Canada is banning single-use plastics, and what's more, it's been announced during the second wave of the pandemic, a time where single-use plastics has been increasingly used due to the rise in takeout and pickup of food deliveries, and it comes at a strange time to move forward with a plan like this. Not that I'm complaining, but let's go over the items that are being banned by the end of 2021. Plastic shopping bags, plastic stir sticks, beverage six-pack rings, plastic cutlery, plastic straws, and food packaging made from plastics that are difficult to recycle, i.e. the black microwaveable containers. And this ban will be nationwide by 2021. The Minister of Environment and Climate Change, Jonathan Wilkinson, was asked in an interview on CTV News if there would be assistance to restaurants or businesses to support them to make these changes to more sustainable alternatives. And I thought that was a great question, as I know in India, where they also have banned single-use plastics and foam, among other items, have also provided subsidies not only to use the products, but also to those who manufacture the product to help bring about real change. Here's what the minister had to say.
Is your government also planning to add any kind of assistance to businesses who are relying on takeout during the pandemic to help them with the transition and the costs?
So a couple things. I mean, the first is the list was developed based on items that are harmful in the environment, that are very difficult or very costly to recycle, and that also have readily available alternatives. And with respect to takeout items, the focus is actually on not straight out takeout items, all single use. It is ones that are made from problematic plastics, and that's particularly things like expanded polystyrene or styrofoam. But there are lots of other options that are compostable or are recyclable. I mean, the other part of this plan, people focus on the ban with respect to the 6 items, but the broader part of this plan is actually to make producers and vendors of plastics responsible for the collection and recycling, to set requirements in terms of the amount of products that have to be recycled, to require recycled content standards across the country. This is something we've been working on with the provinces and territories for a long time, but it's essentially to close the loop.
So essentially, the list that they have outlined, they're deemed to either be harmful to the environment, difficult to recycle, and those that have readily available alternatives such as compostable or recyclable alternatives. The minister's plan to deal with our garbage problem is to focus on recycling, having vendors produce plastic products that include a certain percentage of recycled plastic in order to create a circular economy. But what he did not say, which I was hoping for, was to come out with a plan to ready the municipal level infrastructure to handle compostables so that we don't have to rely on fossil fuel products. Over 1/3 of the waste that ends up in the landfill can be composted, which we've already covered in our video on Composting 101. The federal government has a plan to achieve a zero waste goal by 2030, which is awesome, but in order for that to happen, I believe we have to look at this from our foundational levels, which are the waste channels, and re-engineer the way in which we collect, aggregate, dispose our garbage in order to maximize the composting and recycling to create a healthy ecosystem. In the meantime, we still have the second pandemic wave we're dealing with, which means many ongoing health restrictions, and for many restaurants that have had to have pivot to take out meals are providing customers with plastic cutlery, foam takeout containers, and plastic bags. It remains to be seen what kind of financial impact this looming ban will have on these businesses. Already some business groups are voicing concerns about the difference these bans will make and a significant cost some small businesses could be facing. At a time when many businesses are already counting every dollar and every extra cost could make the difference between staying open or closing for good, I hope the government continues to put their best foot forward and comes out with a plan to help restaurant owners with subsidies to make the changes to sustainable products, provides waste management, subsidies to develop the necessary facilities in order for Canada to really close the loop. And that's going to do it for today for Foodpackaging TV. My name is P. Thank you for joining me. We have some exciting new eco-friendly products to showcase in next week's episode from Greenlid. Till then, have an amazing, happy Thanksgiving long weekend and be grateful and be living in this wonderful country I call home, Canada. Peace out, homes.